This is Invest Now America, and I am your host. Just wanted to share something with you real quick. Sometimes people will talk about, hey, I want to be wealthy. Hey, I want to be rich. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. I'm with you. You know, we're kissing cousins on that one. Preaching to the choir. I want to be wealthy. I want to be rich too. Nothing wrong with it. But when it comes to sort of teaching people how to become wealthy or how to become rich, we need to be clear about definitions. So I no longer try to talk to people about, hey, here's some wealth building things, or here's some ways we can get rich. What I say to people, what I've been trying to say to people lately, hey, let's work on creating a high net worth. That's what we want. We want a high net worth. And your net worth, the ideal net worth that you want, and this is all just simple mathematics, people. This is all simple mathematics. So when you got some idiot coming to you talking about math is racist and it's reinforcing white supremacy and there are different answers to math questions, they're full of it. They're trying to dumb you down. They try to create a permanent underclass. Math is math. Math is the queen of all sciences, and that includes the science of becoming wealthy. Okay, here it is. Let's go back. Your net worth is where you want a high net worth. You want a net worth where you own more than you owe. OWN than what you OWE. Your high net worth is where you want to own more than what you owe. So let's say you were to calculate all your debts, expenses, and liabilities. Put them all in one column. And then you were to subtract that from the value of all your assets or stuff that you own. I'm not going to say assets, but stuff that you own. House, land, cars, whatever it might be, clothing, tennis shoes, music publishing rights, whatever it might be. So in one column, all that stuff that you owe. In the other column, so you take that number and you subtract it from the value of all the stuff that you own. And with that final number, if it is a negative, you have no net worth. You're not wealthy. You're not rich. I don't care if you got a $250,000 home. Let me take that back. I don't care if you got a $5 million home. Man, this house is worth $5 million. Who cares? If your mortgage on it says that you owe, once you've made all the payments, you paid out $6 million, you're $1 million in the hole. You're $1 million in the hole. Say you got this big fancy car. Okay. You sell it. And the guy says, hey, you owe us $5,000 because you still have this car note. And even after you've sold the car, there's still $5,000 left on the car note. You're negative $5,000. That's a negative. It's not a positive. You go on and on and on. I don't care what some other people might say to you. Doesn't matter. You have to own more than you owe. So let's say you got $1 million piece of property and you have a mortgage on it. But that $1 million piece of property is producing income for you. Trust me. It is, you're going to own more in that property than what you owe. If not immediately, then over time. No doubt about it. You don't want to just go out and buy fancy cars and that kind of stuff. No, unless you just pay for that stuff flat out. Hey, it's a 30,000 Mercedes-Benz. Here's your check. Now you own that Mercedes-Benz. You don't owe anything on it. And so if a situation comes to where you have to sell it, okay, you're going to own more than what you owe. You always want to be focused on that. Owning more than what you owe. Period. And then the second part of that, you got to watch that cash flow. Some of these guys, they get in serious trouble. They got cash flow coming in, but they're on the O side is so high. They need court help, legal help to reduce that. Okay, I mean, what's the point of bringing in $10,000 if you owe $10,000 a month if you owe $12,000? What's the point of bringing in $100,000 a month and yet you owe $200,000? I mean, that quite literally some of the stuff that's happening with a lot of professional athletes and entertainers and things like that. That's why a lot of times, like these very highly successful entertainers, they start making more money once they're dead. Why is that? Because their expenses, liabilities, debts, it's gone. They go down. These guys aren't out there spending like a drunken sailor. So now more money's coming in. More money's coming in than what's going out. They own more than what they owe. And they become wealthier. Literally, their estates become wealthier in death. Well, we don't want to do that. We want to create a situation where we have money coming in, and it far exceeds the amount of money that's coming out, that's going out. We want to own more than what we owe. Okay? Net worth. We want to boost that net worth. We want to accrete that net worth. That's what we want. So I put it that way so people can look at it mathematically. Math is the queen of all sciences, and that includes the science of getting rich. All right, folks, this is Invest Now America. Hopefully that information helped you get a better grasp on, how to become wealthy, basically. It's helping me. And also, I just want to say this too. I'm not a financial advisor or planner. I'm not some guy sitting up here talking to you about how to get rich quick and all this other kind of nonsense. No, I'm an average guy just like you. I'm another squirrel out here trying to get a nut. And I'm no better than you. I'm no worse than you. But I do a tremendous amount of reading and research and investigation. And so, yeah, I think the information I've given you can be beneficial to you, to most of you, definitely. It's been beneficial to me. It's helped me a tremendous amount. So, one thing I firmly believe in is that if you want to get more, you have to give more. If you want to get more, you have to give more. The more you give, the more you get. It's almost, at one point, I think it's almost impossible for you to sort of outgive yourself. If you keep giving and giving, you're going to keep getting and getting. So, and I see that in businesses all the time. I see that principle all the time. I see it all the time. Hey, we're making a great truck. Great, so you're selling the trucks not only in one community, but a whole state and more nations, and it's all over the place. Well, you're giving a good product, a solid product. What's happened? You're getting. You're getting a lot. Let's say like you're like a Walmart. You're giving these low price items. Hey, we're going to give you this low price item, this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. We're going to have these stores all over the place, everywhere. And we're going to have them not only all throughout the United States, we're going to have them in other countries. We're going to give you a great product at a great price. And what happens? They get, and they get, and they get, and they give. The more you give, the more you get. I say to people all the time, I give to them, hey, man, I appreciate that. You don't have to. Oh, yes, I do. Because I want to get. And I'm not saying to that particular individual organization, I expect something from you. It just happens. It will happen. You give, you will get. Exactly how much and when, I don't know, but it will happen. And the more you give, the more you're going to get. It's nearly impossible for that principle not to work. It's science. It's science. All right, folks. This has Invest Now America. Hope what I'm sharing with you helps, and I'll be in touch.